Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to discuss two topics. I wanted to talk about prop firms and personal brokers and their advantages and disadvantages. I think both earn their place in the trading space. So yeah, that's what I wanted to discuss. Starting out with a personal broker. If you trade with a personal broker and you take a losing trade, you can directly feel it in your own pockets, because the money that is sitting in the account is real money, so it's directly a live account. Now, if you're starting out as a new trader, that might not be ideal. And I also have to say, yeah, you only learn to trade the hard way. And I started out back in the day with a personal broker account because I was not aware that prop firms existed. So the way that I started out was with a personal live account, and I invested a little bit of money, and the losses that I took were real losses. Eventually, I learned about prop firms, and I thought that was amazing, because I invest $50 for an evaluation account, and yes, there are some big targets to achieve, and you get way more contract sizes because it's a 50k account or a 150k account, so to say. But in reality it's not, and let's be honest, we all know that, I think. But if you lose, you only lose that $50 investment, and that is the beauty of prop firms, and that's also a reason why I think prop firms earn their place in the trading space. So if you're a beginner, you're just starting out, you would think prop firm accounts are great to start, and I don't really agree with that. And let me explain why. Because prop firms, they heavily promote you to pass an evaluation in one day. They also have an urgency of having you to trade every single day. And a personal broker account, you do not have any urgency to trade every day. So let's say you're trading a couple of strategies, free strategies, and you have your trading blocks, and you look at the trading session and you just do not see your setup. During low summer volatility, a Asia or London session can be very boring. And then I can say, oh, I don't see my setup, I don't have to trade. But with a prop firm, you have to trade a minimum of one time a week or one time during a certain amount of trading days. And there's always an urgency for you to trade. So that is a negative, I think, of prop firms. Plus the fact that they are selling a 50k account while it's in reality a $2,000 account. So big difference there. And if you ever traded with a personal account, you know very well, if you trade with one mini, then from your total balance, $1,000 is held. So that is what's held for buying that one contract, and the rest is your free liquidity, and the rest of the free liquidity also decides your liquidation point. And with the prop firms, they let you trade with way more contracts, because they think you have a 50k account or a 150k account. But your drawdown is way less, and yeah, I think if you are just starting out with trading and trading with a prop firm, you kind of you are learning the wrong things. It could work out, of course, because I'm a big believer of slow and steady wins the race. And I think if you approach these prop firms with a slow and steady mindset, then you can eventually grind till a payout. So yes, it is possible to get payouts with prop firms, and I think for you, the watcher, you also know this, and you probably already have a couple of payouts, or you know someone that is getting consistent payouts. But if you're just starting out, don't try to pass an evaluation in one day. And if you really do not see a setup, also accept that, hey, today is not a day to trade. And that is actually what I learned from trading a live account, a personal broker account, back in the day. And I took that same mindset with prop firm trading. And I quickly noticed, hey, with the prop firms, I have a sort of different mindset because I always have an urgency to trade. And that is a downside, I think. And that's something that I do not like. So yeah, that's the negative of the prop firm. And the negative of a personal broker is if you lose a trade, it hurts. So there is more at stake, so to say. Now, of course, this all comes down to also having proper risk management and how you approach the markets. But again, I'm looking at a standpoint of someone who is just starting out. I would say a prop firm could be good, but it's also good to know which one to choose. Some also have intraday trailing and end of day trailing, and there's a big difference between the two. If you're a scalper and you often hit your take profit, then intraday is perfectly fine, I think. But intraday is when you let your trade breathe. So let's say your trade goes up $500 and it goes back to zero then. This is still seen as a $500 trade, even though that you didn't take profit at $500. So that is the catch with intraday. If I have an option to select static or end of day, I will always go with that. I'm not a huge fan of intraday, even though I'm a scalper myself. Now, these are all things that are attached to the prop firms, and that is also a reason why I lately more and more want to focus on a personal broker account, because I have way more freedom. I can swing trade for a couple of days. Yes, I have to pay for the next day, and yes, I have to pay for the contract sizing, but this is expected. With a prop firm, I have to forcefully close my trade end of day. So I cannot sit in a trade for 2 or 3 days. Now, granted, I also do not want that. I only do these kinds of trades on a personal broker account when I'm trading crude oil. Crude oil is a great example of my swing trades, I think, where I leave trade open, I watch the news, I see that Trump is talking again about the Strait of Hummus, so to say, once again. And I look at the crude oil price and I look at all the news around me, and I'm also looking at my macro panels, and I can then decide, hey, do I want to enter a swing trade, and do I want to hold this position open if I see potential? If I don't see potential, I will close the trade, and that is also perfectly fine. With a prop firm, you can't really do that. And now I hear already a couple of people in the comments saying, yeah, but you have videos, the swing trades. That is correct. And that is also a reason why I like the prop firm videos. They have swing trade accounts. So if you do want to hold your positions open for longer, there is still an option there in the prop firm space. So, in a nutshell, that is basically the difference between a personal broker account. You have all the freedom in the world, but if you lose a trade, it hurts. And with a prop firm account, your investment is less, and when you lose a trade, it hurts less. But I am not a fan of the constant rush that you have to forcefully trade. Plus, they are promoting it wrong, I think. Pass in one day, yeah, that is wrong. Giving you the option to trade with 15 micro contracts because you have a 150k account, no, that is wrong. So I'm not a fan of those two things particular. But yeah, that was kind of a rant, but again, I'm also honest. I'm saying prop firms have their space and personal brokers have their space. I trade both, and I trade both for a good reason. And if you are a beginner and you don't know what to do first, I would actually recommend going with a prop firm, but please have the slow and steady mindset and also the proper risk management. And you have to think about it when you trade. Treat it as if you were trading with your own money and with real money, and eventually you do not have to pass things in one day. Now, if you're an experienced trader and you don't have a lot of time and you want to pass it in one day, I wouldn't recommend it as well. I would still say go the slow and steady route, even if you are experienced. Yeah, but I'm wasting so much time, and what if I fail during the funded stage? Well, then you're not experienced enough. Then you did something wrong during the funded stage. What changed in your evaluation stage and your funding stage? By the way, also, another thing that I do not like about prop firms is that you have to grind to a certain amount. So for a 150k account, you have to first earn $9,000. And then you have to do it all over again to get a payout. Well, with a personal broker account, you have to grind to $9,000. Well, you don't have to, but if you do, that $9,000 is yours. There is no split. It's all you. So that is also an advantage of a personal broker and a gripe that I have with prop firms. Again, prop firms, they have their place, and I also still trade them, and for good reason, because if you are still trying to learn and trying to figure out if a strategy works, then hey, a prop firm is great for that, trying to experiment. So yeah, that is in a nutshell what I think about the trading space right now and the differences between the two. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below, visit my website or join the Discord. But for now, thank you for watching, and if you are trading, don't forget, slow and steady wins the race, and have a nice day.